All right, guys, this is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today we're going to be starting a new series. We've done NFL picks before, but we're going to kind of do it in a newer format. It's going to be Frank and Kyle's Beast Picks show, basically, for NFL.
Absolutely, guys. What's going on? A little bit different format this week. We had to do it over this. Probably the craziest week of the season going into week one of the NFL, coming out of National Wing Fest over here. But yeah, guys, I am Kyle Ranney. I am a fantasy analyst from Fantasy Beast and where to find them, the fantasy podcast. Obviously, if you're on the channel, you know who the SS Ultimate Goku is. Frank over here.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna go through. We'll probably actually keep score this year, I would say, on who did the best.
Absolutely.
Maybe a couple episodes we can get a guest on or something to help share the wealth. But obviously Frank's YouTube page, if you're already here, you're following it. If not, click subscribe, hit that bell. And also
be on your website too.
Yes. Also will be on Tiki Tribe TV.squarespace.com. I'm working on that being a lot quicker, but we'll be on there as well. It'll have its own separate webpage. We'll be good to go from that.
Yep. Perfect. So I hope you guys will like this. So without further ado, I mean, you can just go right into the week one NFL games, which the first one is obviously your team, the Thursday night game. Buffalo Bills at the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams.
Those are a 2.5 point favorite on the line currently. There's a little bit more riding on this game now than I think people know.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Odell Beckham just tweeted out that whoever wins Thursday, I'm joining y'all. I don't know if he's joking or not, but that's what OBJ says. What are you thinking here, Frank?
I got the Bills for this.
Okay.
Josh Allen, I think this is his year. Obviously these guys have been like going crazy quarterback stats, but I think this is his year. I think he's probably going to be the league MVP this year. I mean, obviously with quarterbacks, it just comes down to stats, who wins at this point. But I think the Rams played for last year. Like they traded a lot of their picks away to get like players that 1 year contracts left, like
Odell and Von Miller,
who's now with the Bills. So it's like, I don't think, I think this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think the Rams might not even make the playoffs this year. I think this is a possibility because they played to win last year and they lost a lot of guys. Also Matthew Stafford's nursing an injury too. So
I think Stafford will be better than expected. It's never like he's been a super mobile quarterback, at least. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern that you have to worry about Stafford, like, running this, that, the other thing. You do get the benefit of getting a healthy Cam Akers back with the Rams this year. That's something they did not have this past year. They did lose Odell, but they've got a former second round pick in Tutu Atwell there. They've got Van Jefferson, who's starting to shine. So like they have the offensive talent. They did lose a couple pieces on the line. I think they'll be a playoff contender. I don't know if I'd say they're going to be the team to beat out of the NFC this year. But I agree with you. I think I'm going to go with the Bills on that. I would play that -2.5 for sure. I think Buffalo's going to win by at least 7. I think it'll be a touchdown game.
I got the Bills. I think it's going to be maybe 28-14. I'm thinking that Bills 2 touchdowns.
I'll go 35-17. I think they're going to come out and blow the doors off. I think they want to make a statement. They've heard the rumblings. They've heard the constant talking. The Bills aren't ready. The Bills have had a weak schedule last year. That's why they were good. I think that's yeah, but I think that's it. I think Josh Allen hates that disrespect and he's going to come out swinging. So I'm going to say 35-17 Bills.
Yep, Bills. And like I said, I think the Bills are the team to beat in the AFC. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, we both agree on Buffalo though winning.
There we go.
So the next on the list here that I'm looking at for the 1 o'clock game, which this is now we're on the Sunday games, we got the Philadelphia Eagles against the Detroit Lions.
They're calling this one a pick 'em, so it's zeros. There's no There's no swing in this one,
Yeah,
which you might think is crazy, but I
yeah.
personally don't.
Well, I like the coach the Lions have. I mean, he seems like a really, he's like a
Yes.
coach, but he's got a shitty team. I mean, let's face it.
I don't think so at all. And I know that you're a Packers fan, but that team started to play with a ridiculous amount of heart at the end of last year.
Yeah,
They have a not great quarterback. I'll tell you that. I don't think Jared Goff's the leader, but I think Jared Goff's a better situation than the Bills were, give it 10 years ago when you were in a perennial quarterback hell. I like Amon St. Brown. I like that they got DJ Chark for cheap. When Jameson Williams comes back, he's going to be a nice weapon for them. They've got two very good running backs. They got one of the best run blocking lines in the league. The defense has to figure it out, but Philadelphia's defense isn't much better. I'm going to go with the upset. I will say Detroit wins this one. I'm going to say it's like I'm going to say 17-13. It's not going to be a pretty game. It's going to get those early season jitters out. I'm going to go 27-24. Defense isn't going to perform. We're going to switch to that. 27-24, Detroit wins.
I'm going on the opposite on this. I think Philadelphia Eagles will win. I think Jalen Hurts, not one of the greatest quarterbacks out there, but I think he will be good enough to go up against Goff. I got it as probably a relatively close game. I got it as maybe a 20-17. I think it will be close. Local game.
And that's it. I think Detroit was in a lot of these close games late last year. We know Hurts can make the plays, but I guess the other thing that has yet to be seen still is Detroit's put a lot of time and money into that secondary with young picks, and they've just been hampered by injuries. So if Detroit's got kids that finally show up and go, look, we do know how to play, we just have to stay healthy, that's a game changer right there. So I don't think Philly's going to be bad this year by any stretch of the imagination. But it wouldn't shock me to see Dan Campbell come out with how loyal his guys are and show up and have a big win. I could see Philly being a team to beat in the NFC this year. But I think that Detroit's going to come out. They're not going to be better than 10 wins. And I think even saying 10 wins is a stretch. But it wouldn't shock me at the end of the year to see them be number 2 in that NFC North. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going to win it, but I have a lot more faith in them than I do Chicago and Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think Chicago and Minnesota. I mean, I know a lot of people think Minnesota's our only competition in our division, but I don't see it.
Here's the thing. Minnesota's got a great offense, and adding Kevin O'Connell as head coach is only going to make them more efficient. You're going to see guys like Justin Jefferson take over and have even that next step up to be that top guy. However, they haven't done anything to address that defense, and that defense is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. It's just hemorrhaging water.
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins is kind of also Kirk Cousins is more of a stat guy than a clutch guy. Really.
Kirk Cousins is Blake Bortles from a couple of years ago. He's a wonderful fantasy quarterback, but he doesn't do anything when it's prime time and the lights are on.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so the next match that they got here listed, they got the San Francisco 49ers at the Chicago Bears. And, well, there's going to be a lot of drama with the Niners this whole season, probably, I think at least, because you got a quarterback controversy. And when you have a quarterback controversy, there's always going to be that issue. I know you're saying you're right. There's always going to be that issue. There's always going to be an issue.
Oh, there's going to be an issue up until week 4 when Trey Lance loses his job to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, I mean, I didn't know where you were going with that smile, but
I am the biggest self-professed and self-proclaimed Trey Lance hater in this whole area. I didn't like him out of the draft. I thought it was a mistake to go with him in the third overall pick.
And they traded a lot for him.
They gave up everything. And I think the thing of it is they gave up everything to go get Mac Jones. And the media coverage and the team blowback was so bad, they changed plans to go with the sexy pick. But that sexy pick was good at D2 because of coaching. The coaching knew how to make them where they would run 5 to 10 read option plays, get the safety to drop down to the box, have no safety high cover, and run dual streaks on the outside. Whatever receiver was faster, he just played pitch and catch. No coach in the NFL is going to cater like that, and no defensive coordinator is going to go, oh, I don't see a pattern here.
So you think by week 4 he's he's going to lose his job.
I would be dumbfounded for him to keep that job.
But do you think Garoppolo would get even like consider like trade deadline? Because I know that was the whole thing in the offseason. They were trying to trade him, and then
no one's picking up that salary, and that's why they didn't.
Well, that's why they did the pay cut.
But why would you do a pay cut instead of outright cutting him? Do you know what? Had they cut him?
Well, because Seattle, I heard, wanted to sign him.
But had they cut him, Frank?
Yeah.
He would have saved them $24 million in cap. And at that point, if you truthfully don't believe in him, that $24 million cap is going to go a lot way further than the $2 million or than saving him and saving $11 million.
Yeah.
Something's not adding up in San Fran. And it's the fact that Trey Lance is going to be rotten egg smell.
Do you see a scenario where they keep him after the season then? Or?
Yes.
Really?
Trey Lance comes out through 6 games and looks like absolute buns. Looks like straight butt cheeks.
Comes in, does good, and then they basically sign him to an extension and then trade Lance, you think?
So that's my thing, is the best benefit is they have a very easy schedule through 6 games. If Trey Lance comes out in those 6 games and that team looks terrible and they're 2-4, you can't not turn the keys back to Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is Bears, for the Bears. This is a 7-point favorite for the Niners. I'm going to say the Bears win this game 17-13. It's a low scoring affair. The Niners offense doesn't get it going. Justin Fields plays hero ball because that's what he has to do. He doesn't have a line. Darnell Mooney's electric. The Bears win the game.
I am going to go with a low scoring game. I do agree with you. I think it will be a low scoring game, but I think it will be the Niners 10-3. That's where I think it will be close, but I do think Lance will struggle. But I don't know when it will be the point where they just decide, okay, we have to take him out and put the other guy in. I don't know where they get to that point or if they do or not. I mean, the only closest thing we could think of for this one, because 49ers have had history of quarterback controversies. I mean, they had probably the greatest one ever in Joe Montana and Steve Young. So, I mean, nothing's going to compete against that. So they got a really serious issue right here now, and they're going to have to figure that out. So yeah, we'll see. All right. So next we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals, who are the defending AFC champions. And as of yesterday, I believe it was, they made the announcement that Trubisky will be the week 1 starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers
this morning, and it makes a lot of sense.
It sort of makes sense for me because again, the guy they drafted is a rookie, and usually unless they really like show like lights out type thing in training camp or preseason, they usually go with the veteran. This is kind of a newer guy though, so I don't know, it's whatever.
No, so I think the reason that they did this here, and I mean, I think both our teams have seen it. Who is one of the best coaches at all time at destroying rookie quarterback confidence? Playing against them. When you have to play that coach, who's one of the best at destroying rookies?
Mr.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, well, yeah.
Pittsburgh has New England week 3. Worst case scenario, if Trubisky comes in and if Trubisky's red hot and he's got him to a 4-0 start and they're looking great, then you redshirt the year. You kind of do exactly what Kansas City did with Pat Mahomes. You give him a year to learn. If they're 0-3 after that New England game, you have a reason to move to Pickett, and Pickett no longer has to face Bill Belichick. So it's a win-win no matter what you do with Pittsburgh. You're either going to be doing really good or you're preventing that rookie from getting torn apart from Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to all depend on how he plays. Because, I mean, who knows? Trubisky could have a resurgence. We've seen people that go to one that suck in one team and then they go to another team and they have a resurgence. That could happen with Trubisky.
And is it even fair to say suck with one team when Chicago's coaching staff was that horrendous?
Yep. Chicago.
Because that's it. Chicago was a laughing stock. Trubisky came here and looked very good.
I ain't going to complain about it though. So
no, I wouldn't either. But he came here and looked good in limited reps. I mean, we saw that with Jameis Winston with the Saints last year. Jameis looked good when he was healthy.
He did. Jameis, he torched us in week 1, and that was just that was Babon's role. Seeing that.
I mean, so if we're sitting here, we've got Pittsburgh, Cincy.
What's the over and under on it?
It's 6.5 for Cincy. So Cincy by a touch. If Cincy wins by a touchdown, you're winning. If Cincy wins by 3, you lose that bet. So I've got 2 ways to go about this. I would take Cincinnati outright to win, but I would take Pittsburgh money line or with the points.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 27-24 Cincy. It's going to be a very good game. It doesn't matter what condition Pittsburgh's in. This rivalry is always electric. They're always a tight game.
It's always tight. Yeah.
I'm not taking the bet on that. I think that's going to be a close game. Trubisky's going to look solid. He'll make a couple errors, which might be what puts Cincy in the spot to win it. Cincy might have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. They're not going to be the same team throwing for 405 touchdowns every game right away. But I think Cincy wins, but Pittsburgh with the points.
I got actually the Steelers winning 17-10. I think the Bengals will regress in this game. And it's a rivalry. So, I mean, it's always unprecedented.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin's got something. I think he's got something up his sleeve.
I think the big concern is I watched Cincy be able to rush the quarterback very well last year.
Oh, yeah. The offensive line, too. That's another
Pittsburgh's offensive line is horrendous, is my thing. So I think if you're going to rattle Trubisky, who hasn't been a consistent starter in a full year in his first game back, it's going to get to him a little bit. And then that's the thing. If you're doing that, you're also not going to have Najee Harris running at full speed because they know when the run's coming.
Yeah.
But I think we're both on the same wavelength. I think it's going to be a very good game.
Yeah. So next one is the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. And what was the over-under for that one?
Miami's favored by 3.5.
I don't agree with that. I think New England is going to blow the Dolphins out. I think that Bill Belichick's going to rattle these guys. I know they historically haven't played that good in Miami, but the Dolphins got so much dysfunction over there. I mean, obviously, if it wasn't for other news headlines that were going on, this would have been the headline about the whole Dolphins scandal, the possible trying to, contact Brady,
illegal tampering,
the tanking. The owner supposedly joked about it, according to official records. I don't know if that's legit or not, but that's what their official story is. I think this is going to be a hangover for them, especially with Tua, because Tua went through that whole thing with.
Can you say his full name, please? That's Mr. Tua turned the ball over. Thank you.
So Tua turned the ball over. So with Tua, he, last year he had the whole Deshaun Watson, whole coaching staff trying to, owners being like, oh, we're going to get this guy, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And now they have all this other stuff hanging over their head. Well, we were trying to get Brady. Even this year, we were supposedly trying to get Brady, or even the other years we were trying to get Brady. So they're always like, we have this quarterback, but we don't really want him, and obviously they could have picked Hurts, who actually, as of at least right now,
Herbert.
Yeah. At least Herbert right now, as of right now, is the better quarterback. That could change. Who knows? I mean, obviously things can change when it comes to, year by year. I know a lot of people didn't think Drew Brees was going to be a franchise quarterback at one point when he was in the Chargers. So anything can change.
The biggest issue with that is historically in the NFL, you don't get very good left-handed quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Anything can change. But as of right now, I mean, he is the better quarterback of the two, and the Dolphins could have taken him, and they didn't. They took Tua instead. So as of right now, that's where the story is. And, obviously we can always put the blame. Well, he's not really a good quarterback. He's not developed enough, but also he did have to play in a rough year with the COVID, not probably the best thing to be put into in a situation like that, with no preseason, no development, and just going right into a franchise like that. But it just seems like there's more drama with the Dolphins, and it just doesn't seem like they really want him. And I just feel like that's going to be more hanging over their head. And I think also Bill Belichick being the mastermind that he is, plus Mac Jones looked very good last year. I think this is going to show more about his quarterback. And I got the Patriots winning 28-6 in this match.
I'm unfortunately going to have to go the complete opposite of you. And I personally love Mac Jones, and I don't discredit Bill Belichick. However, did you catch any preseason from New England this year?
I seen
any
some.
of the games? Dude,
I seen some highlights of it.
Their offensive line was so that's highlights. Yeah, their offensive
I was watching
line,
the Packers ones.
their offensive line was downright atrocious. It doesn't matter who Miami trots out there to pass rush. They could put you and I out there at edge, and we're going to get past New England's line at this point. Not to mention, you've already got a porous secondary with New England. They've got no starting corners. You lost J.C. Jackson. You lost Stephon Gilmore. They don't have a starting cornerback there this year. So as much as I don't trust Tua's arm, if these guys can't hang with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, it's going to be a long day to be a Pats fan. I'm going to tell you right now, Waddle and Hill are going to combine for 22 catches and over 275 yards.
And what's your score?
I'm going to say it's Miami 31, New England 10.
Oh, wow. So we're going completely opposite on this one.
I think this is the wake-up call Bill needs, because I think Mac Jones is going to be fine, but I think Bill's going to have to ream 16 kinds of shit into the offensive line to get them to play better and protect their new young star quarterback. And I think that it's just going to be something you don't see from New England often to start the season. I think it's going to be an ugly affair for them.
Okay. All right. So the next game that they got is the Cleveland Browns at the Carolina Panthers. And this is a return. Well, not really a return because it's not in Cleveland, but it is a reunion for
it's a redemption game
for Baker Mayfield. And who is for Cleveland? It's
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, he started for the Colts for one season, I think it was, after Luck.
And the New England Patriots.
Oh yeah, but he started a full season for the Colts for when Luck went or retired, I think.
He started the full season for Indy, but he started I think 5 or 6 games.
I think it may have been 2.
The year Brady got suspended.
Yeah, because he only was
4 games.
Was it? I think it was only 2 because Garoppolo started the first 2 and then got injured. So he then played in 2. But he did start a full season with the Colts after Luck retired during preseason. Then they went to get Rivers the next season to be the starter. But this will be an interesting matchup because obviously Baker Mayfield, I mean, I think he's an okay quarterback. I think he has a lot of issues that he really needs to kind of stop, to kind of commit himself more to being a great quarterback, because I think he can be a great quarterback, but he's just got a lot of problems, it seems like, because he's had up and downs. His rookie year, he had a pretty solid rookie season. His sophomore season, he sucked, and that was with Freddie Kitchens, which didn't help. But then his third season, he had a really good season. They beat the Steelers in the playoffs. He went to the playoffs, beat the Steelers. They got a playoff win there. And then he regressed in season 4 and looked like crap again. Of course, supposedly he had injuries, problems with that. He did
last year. He had a torn labrum, but it was his non-throwing shoulder.
So, it is what it is, but he's now on his 5th year, but he's not with the Panthers because he was traded there. And he's going up against the Browns, his old team. What's the over-unders on this?
Over-under is -2 for Carolina. Well, so the line is -2. Over-under is 42 total points.
Okay.
And I think they set this very well because I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game.
Low scoring. I think, I know Brissett had starts under his belt, but he is a backup quarterback. He is a backup. That's kind of more what he is. Baker, I think, is more on redemption here. He's going to be more motivated. I think the Panthers do win this game. I think it will be, I got it at 21-10. That's what I got for it.
I'm going to go with Carolina as well. I'm going to have a weird way of getting here, but I'm going to go 13-3 Carolina. Baker throws 2 touchdowns and they miss an extra point.
Okay.
Both Cleveland and Carolina have solid enough defenses where I think it's going to make it a tough day on both of those quarterbacks to actually be where they need to be. Nick Chubb can run well, but Carolina's good against the run. We don't know what we're getting from Christian McCaffrey. We haven't seen him healthy in 2 full seasons, so I'm going to say Carolina 13-3.
Okay.
They're more than taking care of the line, but I don't see that being a very, very good game. Avoid watching that if you're not in a local area.
Okay. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. What's the over-under for this?
Colts -7.
-7 for the Colts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I know that there's this big thing about David Mills. I don't see it. I don't think he's that good. And they need to find a better quarterback, and hopefully they will figure that out. But right now, I think it's
advanced stats would say you're wrong. Advanced stats, he was actually the 2nd best rookie in the league last year.
Yeah, but a lot of that was in garbage time, though.
No, he held them pretty well. It wasn't like he only got drives against the second team. He would score throughout the game. Their defense was atrocious. He's not. I'm not sitting here telling you he's the changer of worlds, but it's not unheard of to see a 3rd round pick quarterback be good. We have Dak, who was just a 4th. Russell Wilson was a 3rd.
Russell Wilson was a 3rd.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Russ was a 3rd. Dak was a 4th. It's not unheard of. It's not. So I guess here's the thing. What NFL scouts are saying, Frank, is if Davis Mills decided to spend last year back at college with Stanford versus coming out last year, he would have been the top quarterback off the board this year. They think he would have progressed that well in his last year in the draft to have made himself the top quarterback drafted. Granted, that's not saying a whole bunch for this year's class, considering only one guy went in the first 2 rounds, but I don't think he's as bad as a lot of people give him flack for.
Who do you think wins in this?
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go out on a whim here. And I'm not going to completely call the upset, but it's going to be 20-17 victory in overtime for the Colts. I think Houston tends to dial up the Colts' number. I think the Colts still have to figure out the receiver game. I don't know what Matt Ryan's going to do in that offense yet. Yes, Jonathan Taylor. He's electric. But I think the Texans are going to have a sneaky good offense. That line's gelling well. They've got a rookie running back who's running for 8+ yards a carry. They've got good talent at receiver. It wouldn't shock me to see them hang in this game, but the Colts will eventually win it. What do you think?
I think the Colts win. I think it's going to be 10. I think it's going to be 10 to 6. I think it's going to be a close game.
A very low scoring game.
Very low scoring game, but I think they win.
There you go.
All righty. So the next one we got is the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. What are the over and the unders here?
Saints are -5.5.
-5. All right. So this one could go either way. I mean, these two teams are like, we don't know. It's really unknown. This is a post Matt Ryan era for the Falcons. And obviously with the Saints, we said a little bit about their quarterback. I mean, he did very good for a while and then got injured. And, he's got another 1-year contract to prove that he can be the guy. But they got a new coach now. They don't have Sean Payton anymore. And so it's going to be a lot of unknowns there for them. I'm probably just going to say the Saints win. They got their quarterback back. And I think he was solid until he got his injury.
Yeah.
So
this one's tough because I think a lot of people want to just immediately discredit Atlanta because Marcus Mariota is the quarterback. but I think Mariota looked really good through preseason so far. I think with the Saints, it's going to be a barn burner. I'm going to say there's zero defense played in this game. It's going to be 38-27 Saints victory.
You had, what was the 20?
38-28. We'll call it a 10-point difference. Saints win it. But I think the Falcons can hang some points here. I like what Kyle Pitts brings to the table. I like the rookie Drake London. New Orleans has 3 very good receivers now that are healthy. I think it's going to be a very high point game, and I think I'm absolutely taking the over on this game.
I'm going to have the Saints win 28-14 in this game. I think the Saints win. I kind of already gave my points on earlier, but yeah, that's what I got for that.
Perfect.
Next, Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Jets at the Jets.
Ravens are a 7-point favorite.
Okay. I'm going to go with the upset here. I think the Jets are going to win. There's a lot of stuff going on with Baltimore, with the contract issues with Lamar. I don't think that team's going to be in sync. And Joe Flacco, I believe, is starting this game.
Not confirmed.
It is not?
No.
Wilson?
Zach Wilson practiced and is ready to test his knee. They said it was minor and it was only microscopic. So he had an outside chance of playing. Okay.
Well, I don't know now. If Joe Flacco does play, I think he's going to get something because he knows Harbaugh. He was there. He knows him.
Complete opposite thought process than you.
He knows.
I think after seeing Flacco play against second teamers, I've seen all I need to see. You guys can call him elite all you want, but he's not. If Flacco's a starter, Baltimore is going to throttle the Jets.
Okay.
If Zach Wilson's the starter, it would not shock me to see the Jets pull this out in a tight game.
I got the Jets winning 30-27 in a close game. The Jets get the upset.
Why are you hating on the Ravens defense?
I'm hating on the Ravens.
The Ravens defense, though. 30 points. 30 points allowed.
I think I don't know, man. I think the Jets are going to get them on this.
But 30 points allowed.
Yes.
Listen, from everything I've seen, every indication here, Zach Wilson's expected to play. Zach Wilson plays, the Jets win this 13-10. It's going to be a tight game. 13-10 is where we're at. I'm okay and comfortable with that. I have no faith in Lamar. The defenses, I think, are both going to stand out. We finally get to see what I don't remember what his name is now. Excuse me. I think it's Carl Lawson maybe, or some shit like that. The Jets got a defensive edge who looked great in preseason and hurt himself last year, missed the whole season. He should be good to go. But I don't have faith in Baltimore anymore. I get it. They've got a great defense, but they have no talent around Lamar. Lamar has to be the whole offense, and he's proven he can't always do that.
Okay. So next we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Washington Commanders. Commies. Okay, so this game's not going to be that good. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a crap game. What do you think? What's the over-unders for this?
Washington is a 2.5-point favorite.
They're 2-point favorites.
I think it's going to be decided by 3 points. And it's going to be the opposite direction. I think Jacksonville wins this 23-20.
23-20. I think the Commanders, the Commies, are going to win 10-7.
No way.
10-7.
No way.
Low scoring game.
Washington had one of the worst defenses in the league last year.
Well, they're getting Chase back, though.
No, they're not. He's out for 4 weeks.
He's still out? Oh,
he's on the PUP. He's out 4 full games. They didn't re-add a cornerback. I think Carson, and that's why I said 23-20. I think Carson Wentz will throw 2 touchdowns. He'll probably also throw 2 interceptions. But I think Jacksonville's put enough pieces there. Yes, they've got youth and you got to teach some of these kids, but I think Jacksonville's going to hang 23-20. That's my prediction.
All right. Now the 4:00 games are on their way. And it starts off with my team, the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. We don't have that much Aaron Rodgers drama as much we did last year going into the offseason.
No, but something starts every year in September for you, and you don't get Aaron Rodgers drama. You just get some CM Punk drama now.
Oh boy. I don't know that one.
I hope you didn't buy tickets for tomorrow because you won't get to see him.
Oh, I already got it. I told you I got the tickets.
You're not going to get to see him.
You don't know that yet.
They announced they suspended people.
You don't know yet.
Then because they can't say anything because it's a legal proceeding, man. He's not going to be here.
I don't know, bro. I'll wait to actually see the updates on it. There's just too much shit going on right now with that. But getting to the Packers, which we're talking about, the Packers and the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, obviously coming off 2 straight MVPs. I think he's going to continue. We got receivers. Obviously, you're going to have to test the waters with a lot of these new receivers without Devontae Adams. No. But Aaron Rodgers has played with younger receivers before.
Well, I'm just saying you don't have to worry about testing it, and it's not even going to be the 2nd-round pick. Romeo Doubs looks like he's going to be the real deal.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's gone. He's like all these Devontae Adams was I believe he was
a 3rd-round pick.
3rd-round pick. Like Jordy Nelson. Jenny.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. I think Romeo Doubs is going to be a very, very good player. I think Christian Watson might take a year to get to good player status, but in the end, you guys drafted 2 very good receivers this year.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do good in that front. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play just fine. It's going to be easy. I think we're going to win 35-17. I think it will be a pretty convincing win as we start to try and get to the Super Bowl like we've been trying to for the past couple of years. What's the over and under for that? But I didn't think we asked for that.
Nope. You got very excited. We were talking about the Packers.
Yeah.
Over under that is Green Bay -2.
Oh, really?
They have no faith in you guys.
Of course they don't. They always at the beginning of the year, I swear, always at the beginning of the year, they think we're going to like suck or something. I don't know what it is, but like they always do that to us. What are you thinking?
I flat out have no faith in Minnesota's defense, but I also don't have a discredit for what I think Minnesota can do to you guys.
Well, don't forget about our defense. Our defense was surprisingly good last year.
You're right, but I still have more faith in what you guys can't do. So I hate saying this. We're gonna go 35-21 Green Bay.
35-21. Okay. It's still around what I was doing too. So I'm good with that. Packers winning. Go Pack go. All right. So next we have the New York Giants against the Tennessee Titans at Tennessee.
Tennessee is a 5.5-point favorite.
Okay. I think Tennessee will win this game. I think the Giants got a lot of problems, but there's still a lot of unknowns with the Giants. It's just, Daniel Jones, I think, can be a franchise quarterback, but I just don't think he really has good direction. I mean, he's had moments, man. Like he's had moments where he just does things that are like pretty impressive, but then it just kind of gets thrown off the rails. I mean, he's been booed since draft day, so I mean, it's gonna be one of those type of players. Where I think it's gonna be one of those things where if he's successful, people love him, and then if he doesn't do it well, they're gonna hate him. Ryan Tannehill, I think, will still do good this year. But in this game, I think it's better for the experience than it is with the Giants right now. They're still experienced. It's going to be a rebuilding for them, even with Dable in there. I think it's going to be rebuilding for them still. I got Tennessee at. I'm going to get them at 25 to 17. Tennessee wins.
I don't think you're ready for this.
You got the Giants winning?
21-20 New York Giants.
1 point.
Yep. It's going to be a touchdown drive for the Giants. Daniel Dimes proves to everybody he's not as bad as everyone thinks he is. And on top of that, I don't trust the Titans. I don't trust Derrick Henry coming back from the injury. I don't trust the new wide receiver protocol. As much as I love Bobby Trees, I love Robert Woods. I think there's so much that has to happen. And I'm not running and going, it's going to happen here. Frank, my live draft that's going on right now on my phone has had 4 quarterbacks go in the first 12 picks. And it's not a 2-quarterback league. I don't know what the hell's happening here, man.
No idea. But with that, we got next the Las Vegas Raiders versus the LA Chargers. In LA, where they'll get booed out of the building because they have no one there that cheers for them. What's the under and over for this?
1 moment. I am on the clock. I have to draft. We got to do it. LA, you said? Chargers are -3.5.
Okay. I think Justin is going to obviously. I think he's going to make more strides this year. I mean, he did very good last year. They just missed the playoffs. He's only going to get better. I don't know if they're going to get to the playoffs this year because, I mean, he's in a tough division, let alone I think there's going to be a lot of serious team contenders there. So it's going to be a huge hurdle for that team, especially since they really don't have a fan base because anytime they play at home, they get booed. Or the other team is there getting cheered.
Yeah, that's why they just brought in a whole bunch of Labatt's blue light for the game on Thursday because they know that 90% of the stadium on Thursday in LA is going to be Buffalo Bills fans.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but even with more so the Chargers, it's worse though because the Chargers they don't really have anybody that wants. I mean, the Raiders have more of a fan base in LA than Chargers do, and they're the official team that's there.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So I expect it to be more of a Raiders home game than it is a Chargers game, even though the Chargers are the home team. I think the Chargers will win this game, but I think it will be a close game. I think it's going to be like what you were saying for the last game. And I think it's going to be probably a 1-point game. I think it's going to be like 21-20, I'm going to say, for this game, with Chargers winning and maybe some scrutinized missed extra point coming down it.
You said 21-20 Chargers?
Chargers, yeah.
See, here's the thing. I actually really like what the Raiders did this offseason, but I'm not that confident to go jump ahead and go, yep, we're guaranteeing.
Well, I mean, they cut their first round pick from last year too.
No. I don't even think it has anything to do with that. I truthfully believe the Chargers are going to be this year's Bengals. The Chargers are going to be a very tough team to beat in this league. I think the Chargers
for them though, because they're in a tough division.
No. They have the best of both sides. They have a very good offense and a very stout defense. You now have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa coming off both edges. Good luck to any quarterback who's trying to get against that. This team might break the all-time season sack record. I think the Chargers are going to go on to win 42-24. It's going to be a high-scoring affair, but the Chargers are going to beat the piss out of teams this year.
Oh, that's a bold prediction right there.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Kansas City Chiefs at the Arizona Cardinals.
Chiefs are a 6-point favorite.
And it doesn't surprise because I think the Chiefs will win this game. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, despite his brother's TikTok page being distracted.
Fuck you, Jackson.
Patrick Mahomes, though, I like him as a quarterback. I think he's very good. And I don't see him regressing. Still, I think he's still gonna just continue playing and continue being even better. So I got them winning. I got the Chiefs winning like 37 to Cardinals will have probably 20. I give them 20 points here.
I'm going to agree with you on two things. The Chiefs will win, and they'll have over 30 points. However, it's not going to be that big of a blowout. It'll be 31-28 Chiefs.
Yeah.
Early season is when the Cardinals look very good, and I truthfully think the Cardinals are going to be in this game to the end, but the Chiefs are going to edge it out. Pat Mahomes is just that much better than Kyler Murray right now.
Okay. Now this is a Sunday night football game. And that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. What do they got for the spread here?
2.5 point favorite, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That doesn't surprise me. Tom Brady playing. Obviously, there was a little kind of off-season thing. He took his little vacation, but now he's back. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Brady is Brady. That's not going to matter. I think the Cowboys might play okay against them, but in the end, I think Tom Brady, it's hard to beat Tom Brady. No matter what you have, Tom Brady, you got to bring your A game against him, and I see the Cowboys losing here. I think it will be a close game. I think it will be 31-27 with the Bucs winning.
We are again very opposite, sir.
Oh, really? You're going with Dallas?
No. I think it's gonna be a blowout by a long shot. I think we're looking 28-10.
Really?
So here's my biggest concern, and this is why I'm avoiding Dallas players now in fantasy. Dallas just lost one of the top 5 left tackles in the league for pretty much the whole season. That's a huge blow to a team. You got to be able to protect Zeke, Pollard, and Dak. Dak's already been hit a lot. I think they're going to hit him early and often, and I think it's going to go in their favor here, honestly.
Did you have the score?
Yeah, 28-10.
28-10. Okay. All right. Final game is the Monday Night Football game, and this is a reunion for Russell Wilson. It will be the Denver Broncos at the Seattle Seahawks. It's in Seattle, so this is the reunion for him because this is his former team. In a way, Seattle's new starting quarterback right now is Geno Smith.
Gross.
I have zero confidence. I have zero confidence in, by the way, which is why they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. They released him because they were thinking that's how they're doing this whole thing.
But I don't even know why they didn't decide like, hey, we have a better option here. We're gonna do Drew Lock. Drew Lock's a better quarterback. Geno Smith is horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, we seen it in the Jets. We seen it was like the Jets. I mean, it's just not there. Anyways, Russell Wilson playing the Denver Broncos. Obviously the Broncos, the biggest problem with the Broncos is they never really had a quarterback since Peyton left and retired, and they won that Super Bowl. And this is where it is right now. They got their quarterback. We'll see what happens with it this year, but I definitely think he's just got a contract extension too. But I definitely think the Denver Broncos win this game. I don't know necessarily if the Broncos are going to have a good season this year, but I do believe he's going to win this game because Seattle is probably going to suck this year with their quarterbacks that they have right now. So I got Denver winning. I got this like 37-3. And what was the I don't think you said the over and unders for this too.
Denver Broncos -6.5. So they're 7 point. They're basically a touchdown favorite.
Okay. What do you got?
Blowout.
You thinking like me?
27-3. Yeah, Seattle might be one of the worst teams in league history. Like remember the 0-16 Detroit Lions?
I wouldn't go that far.
I would pit that Detroit Lions team to beat Seattle this year.
What about the 0-16 Cleveland team?
I would pit that team against the Seattle team. I think Seattle looks talentless, lost, and absolutely confused.
Okay. And that's the last game. So yeah, guys, this is we'll do this like all year for this, and this either sometimes maybe live or like
I think more frequently live. We might have to switch it up and do it. We'll figure that out off air. But yes, we'll try to do this live as much as possible. We've got backdrops and setups that'll look real nice and professional.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else? Again, on the website and on my YouTube channel. For anybody who's watching this. Yeah, guys. That's it. Subscribe, follow, and bell for all the contents as well. And that's about it. Anything else, Kyle?
That's all I got, man. Check out TikiTribeTVPro.com, TikiTribeTVPro.squarespace.com. Check us out on our YouTube at Tiki Tribe Production. Keep giving Frank's likes. Hit the button. Subscribe. All of it. Hit that bell.
Yep. Subscribe and follow the website as well if you're watching this on the website. That's it. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.